Good afternoon, everyone. As what I said earlier, you're surprised that I'm here. And also, I'm surprised that Father Robert is not here. He called me and he said, I will not be there. I said, oh my goodness. So, it's good Father Felix is here with us. And in today's Gospel, as what I said earlier, Peter was also surprised to be asked by Jesus 3 times, do you love me? And I also said, so please be ready for God's surprises again today in our life, in your life. 2 months ago, I experienced a big surprise, very big surprise, when I went to Rome and I met the Pope. That is the picture. He hugged me and he gave me his skull cap. And we spent 2 hours together. It was a big surprise. I never thought it's possible. But for God, there's nothing impossible. I arrived in Rome 3 days prior to with my group because I need the rest. I said, I'll go to Rome earlier. I don't want to be with my group. They keep on bugging me and questioning me and asking me to pray over them, so I'm tired of praying with people. That's a good decision. So I ended up in Rome. And apparently, after celebrating the Mass, a friend of mine told me, and they said, can you please pray? Because I remember 2 months ago, the Pope saw you in the pictures that I sent him. I showed him some pictures, and he asked me, who is this priest? Because apparently I have this ministry. We're feeding more than 5,000 children every day in the Philippines, and I'm blessing with people. And he said, I want to meet this guy. And it happened to be me. And a priest friend of mine told me, probably he will remember that at one point last February, he told me he wants to meet you. Because this priest is quite a character. There was a storm in Rome. He's a parish priest over there. And he wrote a letter to the Pope and he said, and showed him the picture of his parish. Totally messy, totally ruined by a storm. And the Pope phoned him. And then when he was asked by Pope, what is your name? And this is his answer. My name is Father Ricky, the future Pope. Since then, they became friends. I'm like, they're buddies now. And then, to make the story short, I attended the Mass with the Pope. I'm sharing this with you because today is the Solemnity of Peter and Paul. Peter happened to be the best. Peter, the first Pope, and Pope Francis probably is one of the best Pope ever. Vatican right now is almost overflowing. We're so blessed living in this day and age with this kind of Pope. People have started coming back. This is the golden age of the church. Priest friend of mine in Rome, for years is in the confessional, no penitent whatsoever. And now, all of a sudden, people keep on going to confession. So he was shocked and he said, I want to know to these people, why are you in the confessional now? And you know, they always have one answer because of that Pope. They keep coming back. I was in Paris, the same thing. Many priests are telling me, Father Fernando, you won't believe this. So many young people right now are going back to church because of this Pope. I'm saying this because in the solemnity, of Saint Peter and Paul, Saint Peter in particular, our first Pope, the very first word of Jesus, feed my lambs. Meaning, our church will not be forsaken by God. I know we're all surprised why there are so many old people in the church. At one point, I was asked by so many people, especially in North America, especially in Europe, and I've been tired of giving. I don't know the answer. Why there's only old people in the church? And at one point, my answer was, oh, because they're getting close to the terminal. But now no more. I'm not saying that. This Pope keep on saying, please do not deprive yourself of this daily encounter with Jesus. Because when you have this daily encounter with Jesus, you will experience the joy of the gospel. The joy of this Word of God is so challenging, it's so refreshing. So this is now the future of the church. There is hope in the church. This is hope. Because for quite a while we're worrying, we're somehow worried and anxious the future of the church because, young people don't want to go to church. The church is boring. And those old people in the church, when they're in the church, they're all sleeping. They are tired of going to church. They prepare to go to the mall. They prepare to watch football, especially now there's a World Cup. Probably that's why you're here today, so that tomorrow morning you will watch the World Cup. I know the schedule. I watch it too. Jesus asked Peter to feed us. And there is the successors, the Pope. When I met the Pope, I experienced tremendous healing. And God is such a blessing, for those who do not know me. Prior to that event, prior to my meeting with the Pope, I was demolished by the media. I was totally demolished by the media in the Philippines, in the internet, everywhere. They're trying to demolish me as a priest. They put so many lies, and it's painful. And what's unfortunate sometimes, even church people that you expect to defend you, and they're the one who maligning you. People in the church, they're the ones supposed to protect you and defend you, but they're the one that keeps putting you down. And it's so devastating until I met him. And then when he hugged me, I said it in here, it is a moment of consolation, affirmation, and healing. And it is so true to me. In an instant, the pain just disappeared. I got healed. I was so traumatized, I was tormented, I was terrorized by this demolition of my personality, of my priesthood, of my character. I was assassinated and morally killed. But this Pope, the blessing that when he embraced me, I said, God, thank you. And when he said to me, continue what you're doing. Go for the kingdom of God. And then I became a new person. And I wanted to share with you because God has His way of vindicating us. God has His way of helping us, of saving us. So please do not lose hope. My only consolation at that time was, I know myself and God knows me. Time came in my life when I do not know anyone who's my friends, who's my supporters, and who's my followers. And this is where I realized that one hug, as if I was hugged by God, is enough for me to be healed. In a split of a second, all the pain is gone. And I want to share this with you so that your pain and anxiety will disappear as well. I'm sharing this to so many people, the all people that's hearing my Mass, because I want you to experience that there is hope in this life. So please do not lose hope. Because the very word of Jesus to Peter, feed my lamb, feed my sheep, then my sheep. Meaning, look after them. And we are the one that Jesus is talking about. You are the one that Jesus is talking about. So God will not leave you. God will not forsake you. And it's so clear in the gospel. The gospel is so clear. Every day, gospel wants to guide us. Every day, the gospel, and especially the whole celebration of the Eucharist, wants you all to be happy and feel secure. I want you to feel secure. But the very question of Jesus to Peter, somehow, we need to re-echo and ask ourselves as well, do we love God? Do you love God? Because if we love God, we will not make Him sad. If we love God, we want Him happy. And how can we not make our God happy? How can we make our God happy? If we do good things. You know, Pope Francis as well said, the worst crime or the worst sin in the world is not the crime that we committed, but the good things that we should have been done. It's not the sin. It's not your sin. It's not the worst. That's not the worst crime. The worst crime is the good thing that you should do to others. And that's the very word of Jesus. Can you do something good for my people? And that is our challenge today. Sometimes we get stuck with these sins. Sometimes we get stuck. Oh, I'm a sinner. I'm not belong to the church. And thanks to this Pope, somehow he has these gestures of his ways of welcoming everybody. Come back to church. You belong to church. This is not an exclusive church. This is an inclusive church. Last 2 weeks ago, I was in London, England, and there was this Muslim lady. Her name is Sarah. And she hugged me. She said, "What do you have?" She said, "Father, I want to thank you. You visited London 2 years ago, and I was deciding where to go, whether I will keep on becoming a Muslim or becoming a Christian. And now as a Christian, whether I'm becoming a born again or a Catholic. Until I attended your Mass. And somehow something happened. And last Easter, I was baptized and I'm very happy. I'm a Catholic now." Isn't that amazing? God will look after our people. His people. Through the Pope. Through Peter. And we should feel that. We should feel belong to this church. And if we feel that you belong to this church, we need to be involved. We need to be committed. Don't feel you're going to church because it is your obligation. That kind of attitude is not healthy at all. It's not good for our faith, and it's not good for the faith of your descendants. Oh, you should go to church. It's your obligation. You'll go to hell if you do not go to church. Now, that kind of wordings is no longer effective. What our Pope is saying right now is daily encounter, personal relationship with Jesus. You need to feel God. You need to hear God. God should be real. It's not on our head. He's not up there, out there, on the air, whatever spirit is that. Our God should be here. He must be experienced. He must be felt. He is real. And if you have that kind of relationship with this Jesus or with this God, no one can take Him away from you. So when you have problems, you know where to go. When you have cancer, you know where to go. When you have big dilemma, you're confused, you know where to go. You're not going to casino. And you're not going to drink wine and drink beer or liquor and be drunk. You should know where to go. Go to Jesus. He wants to be involved. He wants to guide you. He's waiting. That's why He's the most patient God. Because He's waiting for us even though it takes forever. Why? Because He loves us. Simple. And His love is real. When God gave me this opportunity of encountering the Pope, I said, God, you're so real. You know the perfect time. You know the perfect time because I have no more energy to move on. I have no courage to fight. I have no more. Nothing left. But this picture says it all. Speaks 1,000 words that our God is alive. So I want you to know that our God is alive. And I'm praying today that you will experience the reality of that word, and this will be the biggest surprise in your life. And because it's coming from God, it's good. It's beautiful. It's awesome. It's amazing. It is amazing to know that our God is alive. And I will pray that this surprise will come into your life. If not later, sooner the better. I hope you experience it right now. Like, before coming here, I appreciated the wedding. And in this wedding, I want to, that we priests know very well when people are interested or not. Because we're looking at you and you're looking at us. So I noticed this particular couple, they're not interested in my homily. Keep on watching, looking at the watches. I was waiting already. It's very hot in the Philippines, So it was a grandiose wedding because I know I have an invitation that there will be this big reception after the wedding. I know all the sponsors, they're all dressed up. But as if they're just there to dress up. As if they're there to parade. And they're no longer interested. So I said, okay. Because I have this microphone, I have a chance to tell what I want to say. And I asked them, do you want your wedding be a memorable one? I said, yes, Father. I said to them, your wedding will not be memorable if you never encounter God today. And I asked them, do you want to encounter God so that your wedding will be memorable? Yes, Father. What do I do? What can we do? I said, you kneel down and don't stand up until you feel God. Make the story short, the wedding is over. About to go, the parents came to me, the sacristan came to me, Father, there's a next wedding coming. They're still kneeling down and we still have the picture taking. Can you please tell them to stand up? So I prayed, I said, Lord, please come immediately. I went to them and I said, okay, I'll give you a blessing. I hope you encounter God enough today. And you know, both of them hugged me and said, Father, thank you for challenging me. Thank you for challenging us. Even their parents came to me, thanking me for this particular moment will be very memorable because you challenged them to feel God. And I look at them. Are you ready to stand up? Yes, Father. You stand up and had picture taking. Peter in today's gospel was challenged by merely questioning simple question coming from the Lord. Do you love me? But he was challenged 3 times. We need to be challenged so that the intentions in our hearts will be rectified and be punished. Yes, our action will never be perfect. Yes, our action will all have these flaws and imperfections. But what is important is the intention in our heart. So ask that question again in your heart. Do you love God? And if you really love God, make Him happy. And in making Him happy, stop doing something that will make Him sad. And you know already what it is. You know already. I don't need to put details because we are all human beings and we know what's right and we know what's wrong. Amen. Please stand and let us profess our faith.
I will be strength for the journey. I will be strength for the journey.
So we're stationed in the Philippines. We're in an island of Iling in Occidental Mindoro. We're doing our ministry for the poor, starting our new community of priests and seminarians. We have 20 seminarians after 3 years now already. We're stationed on a very poor island with no running water, no electricity, and no motorized vehicles. So if you're looking for that experience, come to the Philippines. We'll welcome you there. We'll give you a bahay kubo to sleep in. So you'll be all set. It's a blessed place, and we're trying to help all the poor there. We started by feeding the children. Was our first thing, because they're all malnourished. So we've been doing that now for the last 1.5 years. And we're also gave a lighting project, solar lights. We were able to give to 1,200 families of the 25,000 people who live on the island, on this poor place. And so many other projects that we're doing to help the poor there. So we ask you to keep praying for our ministry and our missions. But we've been in the Philippines since 2006, or even before that, actually. And we had families starting to make rosary bracelets because there's so many have no work. So Father Fernando was inspired and he said, wherever I do my healing ministry, I will bring these rosary bracelets. So he's here, so they're with us. They're with us. And this is to help these families. Inside is a healing prayer Father Fernando composed. And many have told us that, have reported to us that while they were sick or they gave it to a sick friend, they also experienced healing while praying with the rosary bracelet. So many have told us stories about that. Of course, there's no power in the bracelet, but many through faith have experienced healing.